Hello, I'm Roger Manners, here in Yamaha Piano headquarters at Kakegawa, Japan. And I'd like to introduce to you an exciting new series of concert grand pianos, the CF series. The flagship of the series is this 9-foot full-size concert grand piano, the CFX. There's two other models. One is a 7-foot model called the CF6 and a 6'3" model called the CF4. Let me give you a little background on how we developed the series. It all began back in 1991 when Yamaha launched the successful CF3S concert grand piano. You'd expect our design engineers to take a well-deserved rest then, but they didn't. They immediately started a major new project which began by analyzing virtually every aspect of the piano. Yamaha has some of the best engineers in the world, but engineers alone can't develop an outstanding musical instrument. We put together a project team composed of design engineers, wood specialists, metallurgists, acoustic scientists, the artisans who made the prototypes, the technicians who voiced them, and the artist relations staff who tested the pianos with top musicians in concerts and at piano competitions. And let's not forget the experienced artisans in our workshop who build the pianos.
Yamaha concert grand pianos are created from carefully selected top-quality materials and reflect the superb technique and pride of our skilled craftsmen. Yamaha places a great deal of importance on human sensory experience, as well as the scientific approaches employed in the processes of piano production. We believe that perfect sound is generated from a dimension that is beyond the reach of science and can never be measured in numerical values. Forming the carefully selected materials into the supreme instrument and taking advantage of unique characteristics of the chosen material is the mission of the craftsman. Craftsmanship, the fruits of man's technique and sensitivity, lies in the completed piano. The quest for the perfect sound begins with a meticulous selection of the materials. Only prime spruce, with its high resilience that makes for excellent sonic transmission, is used for the soundboard, the heart of the piano. After the color of the bark, grain, width of annual rings, and so on of the timber are carefully checked, multiple boards are then arranged to form a single soundboard. In Kidori, a single perfect plate is produced using the best section of the timber that has passed a number of strict quality checks. The boards selected in the process of Kidori are then spliced. This is called edge gluing. This process is very critical in maintaining vivid and resilient sound for long periods. Swift precision teamwork of the craftsman is required to stay ahead of the quick-setting adhesive used. The rim, the framework of the piano, is then made. Very high pressure is applied to multiple thin boards coated with adhesive to form the graceful curve of the grand piano. Under this pressure, the boards are formed into a single piece of wood that features the strength required to form the backbone of the piano. The frame for a concert grand piano is traditionally hand cast, since the frame must be strong enough to withstand string tensions of approximately 20 tons and greatly affects the resonance when it vibrates with the strings. The upper and lower dies are removed from their master patterns, and the artisan then checks them for details. Since even a tiny crack in the sand significantly affects casting, any uncompleted sections are carefully repaired using a scraper. The upper and lower dies are matched and secured. Red-hot molten iron is poured into the sand mold, and it rapidly spreads into all corners of the mold. Glue is generally used to bond the wood in the course of piano production, particularly for sections that greatly affect the resonance. Glue is the best material for preserving the critical acoustic properties of the wood, and so is indispensable for piano production. The rib attached to the back of the soundboard transmits the vibrations to every corner of the soundboard. Attaching the rib perpendicular to the grain of the soundboard creates a more vibrant sound. The surface of the soundboard with the bridges attached is slightly raised. This is called the soundboard crown and is very important because it bears the main load of the high-tension strings. The shape of the crown is carefully maintained as the craftsmen swiftly shave off the ribs to enhance the sound response. The main tools used are chisels and planes. Craftsmen make all necessary tools themselves. The craftsman's shaving technique is critical to a variety of processes in piano production. High-quality sound is created by highly skilled shaving. The bonding of the soundboard is a very critical process because it affects the final quality of the sound produced. Not even the slightest lifting is allowed between the soundboard and the back frame. Accordingly, speed and good teamwork are necessary for this process. Each craftsman goes about his own tasks in silence, concentrating on bonding the soundboard to the back frame. The uncoated frames are delivered and carefully matched with the main body of the piano. Bridge height adjustment is just as important as frame matching. Craftsmen tighten the thread instead of the actual strings to carefully determine the height of the bridge. They shave the surface of the bridge with utmost care until the indexed height is obtained. Bridges are coated with graphite to smooth the strings and maintain tuning stability. Any unnecessary areas on each bridge are then shaved off to prevent the strings from contacting the bridge. Craftsmen painstakingly engrave beautiful geometric patterns using a very sharp, very accurate chisel. Almost 500 bridge pins are hammered in at one time. The frame, the mainstay of the piano, is then attached. The frame is placed on the wooden plate, so the frame does not directly contact the soundboard. The height of the plate is fine-tuned by a skilled artisan until the frame is set in the perfect position. Approximately 230 strings are carefully set one at a time by the craftsman. It is extremely important to determine the position of the strings depending on their length and diameter. Yamaha is continually seeking the optimal arrangement of strings that matches the main body of the piano. The action is a mechanism that can be said to be the brain of the piano. The action precisely transmits the subtle movement of the fingers that touch the keys to the hammer that hits the string. Greatest care is taken when the action is installed in the main body of the piano. The strike points are adjusted so that the hammer always strikes the string at the correct position. This operation makes the tone and volume uniform to produce the ideal sound. Regulation is a process that adjusts the keyboard action to precisely respond to the touch of the player. The height and depth of the keyboard are adjusted. There are approximately 1,000 items that must be adjusted to tune the piano. To tune even one key on the keyboard, 12 items including the capstan and the back check must be adjusted. All components are now perfectly assembled. Motions and tones are perfectly adjusted. However, this is not the end of piano production. The last process is voicing, which rectifies the tone and total balance. The craftsman's refined ear and acutely sensitive sound perception, as well as reliable technique acquired through experience, give life to the piano. After tuning, regulation, and voicing, the piano is transformed from a single musical instrument box into an exquisite medium capable of producing extraordinary sounds. The completion of a Yamaha concert grand piano is the culmination of a great number of processes that take an enormous amount of time. Although we live in an era dominated by science, the piano creates a mysterious world of sound beyond the reach of science. Pianos are produced through the ultimate harmony of scientific engineering and the acute and delicate sensitivity of mankind. The Yamaha concert grand piano continues to develop, reflecting the spirit of the craftsman and improving techniques in the pursuit of the ultimate in sound quality.
Altogether, around 40 people worked for 19 years developing the CF series. The team learned all about how the tone of a piano is produced, and they put that knowledge into the new designs. Using cutting-edge scientific methods, we analyzed the vibrations in the body, soundboard, frame, and strings. We were able to map out the vibration patterns of the different harmonics of each note using CAD technology, accurate to 1/1000th of a millimeter. And we used other technology, such as ultra-high-speed photography, to study the hammers striking the strings. As we developed the sound qualities for the new models, we also completely redesigned the case for a clean, sleek look harmonized throughout the piano, both inside and out. In the year 2008, we felt ready to finalize the designs and get ready to produce these pianos. But first, we set up a series of secret evaluation sessions in major concert halls in Paris, New York, and Tokyo, working together with 41 top concert pianists. We compared our prototypes to the best concert grands available, and the results from these evaluation sessions helped us decide on just the right specifications.
I love the space with this piano, and I found it technically perfect, very rich, so sensitive.
It's incredible, but very pleasant Yamaha action.
I'm completely satisfied with everything, with the balance, with the colors, feeling comfortable playing on it.
It was great to see you.
How about the middle section? Is it?
That's very good.
This should have had this piano. Sounds good.
"あそこで弾いたとこでもうちょっともやっと聞こえるんだけど、こっちで聞くととってもいいわ。
とても弾きやすいです。フットペダルの効力っていうのが普通よりももっとよく出てて。
The concept behind the series is beauty and power. Beauty refers to its wide range of tonal colors and its ability to sing in the hands of a good pianist. Power refers to its impressive tonal presence, not only when played fortissimo, but even the softest passages carry throughout the concert hall. We've invited concert pianist Yuko Mifune here to try the CFX.
such a pleasure to play on the piano.
Oh, thank you very much.
I would want to play all day. There's so many details which I noticed that
Yeah.
are different, but the tone is sustaining, and it responds so delicately to every different touch.
In here, one of the biggest differences is the whole soundboard. We redesigned that. It has less stress than the old soundboard, so that it vibrates more freely. We also came up with a new way to make the crown. And these two qualities together improve the response of the piano and also the sustain. The hammer has a big effect on the overall tone of the piano, but also on the projection and how far it carries in a large concert hall. And we changed the shape and the material of the hammers, and it gives a new dimension to the sound of the piano, we think.
Dimension.
Yeah. How's the touch?
Very light.
Is that good light or bad light?
Yes, very good light. It's very light and easy to play, but still you have the very, very soft pianissimo sound.
Another thing we did to strengthen the piano is we made the metal frame inside of it much stronger. And we also worked on the ribs, which are underneath the soundboard. And then we strengthened the rim all around the piano here. The reason we did that is to give it a lot more power and to have more projection for use in big concert halls and in front of a big orchestra.
Yes.
And I think the bass is noticeably stronger than before.
Yes, I noticed that last time too.
Yeah.
So shall I try now?
Yeah, please.
Yes. Very big difference, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Very deep.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not just loud, it's a big, deep, rich sound, I think. Yeah.
The type of sound which sinks in
Yeah.
very deep.
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, it's much more power. When I try to do little things with my touch, it responds very quickly to whatever I would like to do. So everything which is perfect for the musician. Very beautiful.
The CF series pianos are the result of 19 years of development by scores of dedicated Yamaha experts. We're really excited to launch these new pianos, and we feel we're offering pianists a great new choice.